thought Ronnie, did a really nice job when it thrown help. But you always talked about when you can able to cut the head out of the monster off the other team, it usually makes it more difficult for them to score. How good was Ronnie defensively?
Well, I think first and foremost you have to keep in perspective for Penn State, losing such a quality player, Tim Frazier. And those guys are really good players. Newell's a good player. Jermaine Marshall had 20 against us a couple of years ago, are good players, but they are not point guards. And we wanted to try to get up to them and just try to disrupt to the best of our ability, and just try to wear them down, kind of like a boxing match, and just try to stay there with them and make them use a lot of energy bringing the ball up the court. I thought both those guys did a good job. We still had some possessions where we allowed angles, allowed them to get into the paint. I thought they had a couple shots they took that they normally make. We were fortunate the ball didn't go in. But Ronnie's done a better job defensively. There's no doubt about that. He just has to stay with it and keep working hard on the defensive end.
What is it about this freshman class, the way they've been able to develop chemistry relatively early?
Yeah, well, I think A.J. Hammonds and Ronnie especially have been able to play through their mistakes. I think that definitely helps you. Most freshmen don't get the opportunity to play through their mistakes because there's other guys in place. And Ronnie's done a good job of, like I said, making improvements on the defensive end. And with his decision making, he's got to continue to stay in the gym and work on his free throws, especially as a point guard. I think it's important. Rafael Davis has just continued to keep a good attitude and play hard, and he gives us energy. It's been a difficult transition sometimes because he's kind of an in-between player. I think A.J. Hammonds has got a chance to be a special player. Just take his time in the post, get angles, and just keep working at the little things and being a really good post guy. There's not a lot of big post guys that want to be one. He's got to want to be that type of a player because there's very few of them out there. But the whole freshman class has done a good job. They come into an opportunity where we need them to play. That helps them to a degree, but it hurts us at times also. I think there's a big lesson to be learned as a freshman when you come in and you have to sit and watch. I think that helps too. Ultimately, it doesn't, especially from their standpoint. But it does help to watch and to learn kind of a level. And at times we've needed them to do that, but we haven't had the depth. But I do like each individual guy. Each guy's on a different track in terms of their development. But hopefully, at the end of the day, end of the season, kind of show them what they can be and what they can do if they put a lot of time next to it.
We're getting stops throughout the first half. We're just kind of standing there thinking if we just clean up the offensive rebound and stop turning the ball over, we were going to ultimately get.
Yeah, well, I thought, once again, it was, kind of Purdue beating Purdue. And there were some basic things, fundamental things that we didn't do well. We didn't take care of the ball. We were anxious on the offensive end at times instead of being patient. And then we didn't get some clean blockouts. And those guys were getting those long blockouts. And they take long shots. You got to stay in them and create space. Be able to get the ball and get it. We didn't do a good job of that. Even though the numbers were good at half, there were still a handful of rebounds that they just out-scrapped us for.
We've seen you throughout the season from time to time sub-offense, defense for A.J. You were doing it at the end with you were kind of putting in Lawson for at one end of the floor, Hammonds at the other. Just can you kind of, explain?
Well, just trying. It's really what they did. They put two combo forwards at the 4 and 5, and they're just trying to get an advantage with him in the ball screen action. So we just wanted to put Jacob in there and switch it and knock out the action. Now they can drive you after that, which they did. They still drove Jacob Lawson and scored twice. So you put a guy in there to be able to stop that. It really didn't work, but that is the thinking.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Hammonds and just the impact he has on the game defensively? It seems like he really bothers teams. Makes them maybe think twice sometimes about coming in.
Right. Well, when he's at the rim, he does a really good job for us. Where we need him to improve is in ball screen defense. We've done a couple different things with him, but just trying to get him to understand the little things of ball screen defense, of straightening the ball up, not giving angles, not reaching. But when he's at the basket, he gets big and just walls people up. It gives us an advantage. And tonight, he was able to read a couple times when guys, committed to their shot. He jumped and blocked their shot. So just being able to continue to improve on his decision making of when to get big and when to actually try to block a shot.
You had mentioned Ray earlier, just in terms of his energy. Is that the reason that you gave him the start today?
I thought he played harder than the other guys. I think that was an easy statement. I don't think he's a traditional four-man, nor do I think Bird is a traditional four-man. But when guys are out there and they're more productive and they're playing harder and they're trying to do what we're asking them to do, I think they need to be rewarded. But I just tried to play the guys I thought gave us the best chance to win. And he was one of them. Thanks.